Well, according to the weather forecast, it's supposed to be thunderstorming, raining. It's not. I'm out here cleaning up the irises. Look at that. It's a whole summer's worth of dried iris leaves. And basically down here, it was good for them to have the mulch for the summer. But now that the rainy season is here, I have to clean them out because the rainwater can't get to them because there's so much mulch. And when the rainwater can't get to them, they don't flower. And I like it when they flower. And look at this, you see? It's bone dry here. This is dry, dry, dry. Last time it rained was 2 weeks ago. But according to the forecast, we're supposed to be having thunderstorms and rain. And of course, they said that it was going to rain last night, and it didn't. And it said that it was going to rain all morning, and it didn't. And I really doubt that it's going to rain this afternoon because those are not rain clouds. Yeah, it's overcast, but it's not rain clouds. So I'm taking advantage of it not being so hot out. And I am cleaning up the irises. So you can see I don't have as many brown leaves there. I do leave some mulch in for the food, but for the most part I clean it all up every fall in preparation for winter so that the ground can actually collect the rainwater. Otherwise it's just gonna run down into the street, and what have I done? I've only killed my irises by leaving them overly mulched. So this, I have to trim this back. It's dried caper. It dries every fall. It comes back every spring, and then it dries. I usually clip it. I have to clip it. I left the clippers downstairs, so I have to come back and clip it. And in the summertime, the capers are green and flowering over the irises. It doesn't hurt them at all. And so then I clip the capers back, and then in the winter time, around February, sometimes March, the irises will start blooming. And then when the irises stop blooming and they kind of go into their sleep period, then the capers come back again. So that's really nice. But yep, you see, like right here, it's just so dense. The rain can't really get through there, so I just open it up to where the rain can absorb into the ground. I don't know if you can see over there. I still have to get over there. You see, it's very, very mulchy. The rain will just wash away off of that. So this is what I'm doing at the same time that, seriously, you go onto the Weather Channel and it will tell you that right now it is raining. Specifically at my location. I don't mean like countrywide. I mean specifically at my location, it is raining. First, my trees thought it was spring. But look at this. That's part of the capers. Huh. It already did its dieback, and now look, it's coming back again, as if it's spring. Huh. Interesting. Okay, I want to show you something. All this right here, I moved from the concrete part of my driveway. You see all this? See all this soil? There's soil mixed in there. That was created on the concrete by leaves that have been sitting here all summer. I just threw the soil back into the garden. Along with the little leaves. But you see, look. You see, it looks like that. Take it. Clear away. Look at that soil. Handful of soil. That was made by the dry leaves. Throw it in there. You see, you can make soil on concrete. You can make soil on just about any surface. You just need mulch. Mulch will create dirt. As the leaves break down, they will create dirt. Not just dirt, but soil. And that soil will contain whatever nutrients were in the leaves. Look at this that I just found. That is the tape from a cassette tape. Interesting. Don't know how that got there. Anyway. My claws tend to blend in. I end up losing them one day in a pile of leaves. Anyway, so you see all of this. It looked like it was only a little bit under there, but look at how large that pile of leaves is. So I'm going to take the dried leaves, put it in my bin, and then, you see that? Now there's dirt that came up with the leaves, but take this, throw it in, and then go down to the next one. So my bin got pretty full. It does every year. So this, look at this. So the end of the driveway is here. Where are these irises? These irises are actually growing in the dirt, right? They're in the soil that was built on top of the parking over the summer. You see, this is where the parking lot ends, the concrete from the parking lot, you see? And then there's the soil that built up. There's one iris, there's a second iris, there's the roots from the iris. All of these grew up here on the parking. Ooh. Which means that I'm going to have to transplant them. So until I've transplanted them, I'm just going to cover them back up here. Make sure they're nice and mulched. Isn't that interesting? I was not expecting that. Look at that. Look at all those new ones in there. This is still on top of the parking. So I think I'm going to end up transplanting them. That's interesting. Okay, now I'm going to get up and I'll show you what I did. That is incredible. All of that is actually growing on the concrete just from the mulch, just from the dried leaves that fell onto the parking over the summer. Wow. All right, I cleared away the capers that were here along the fence. There's where they are now. So now it is just irises. And look at that big bin. That big bin is actually going to go into the rabbits, and they're going to be able to stay warm in the winter with all of this. And then by spring, I will be able to use that in my garden as well. So I cleared out the mulch. Now, we all know that mulch is a very good thing. We're all taught, oh, you keep mulch, mulch keeps in water, etc. And mulch is an amazing thing. It really is. As you can see from there, it builds soil. It adds a lot. Mulch also suppresses weeds. And that's what we have to remember about mulch. Mulch suppresses weeds because it can also not allow moisture to get through it and air. So if there's no air and no moisture, then the weeds can't grow. There's no light. So it's really important to understand that balance. In the summertime, it's really good to have the mulch here. It keeps the ground from drying out too much. I started out with a teeny tiny little patch of irises 20 years ago. No, more, 22 years ago. And then I moved to the north. I brought some irises with me. They proliferated and, lined both sides of my sidewalk to the entrance of my house. I gave some to my mom. They proliferated at her house. And then when I moved back here, I was very sad to discover that my irises were not doing so well. So I pampered the ones that were left, and I had transplanted some of the irises that were in my mom's yard, which originally had come from here. I brought them back, and I can see that they're doing very well. Now, you might notice that there are some brown spots here on the tips. This happens to all the older leaves, okay? This is a very healthy plant down here. As you can see, they've got the new leaves coming up, right? They got the new leaves. All the older leaves have this brown on them. Now, I am not an iris expert. I'm not. I can just tell you from my experience. So when the leaves get a certain age, they start to go brown. And then gradually, they start at the tips, and then the entire leaf will gradually turn brown. And that's essentially what these are. These are, old leaves. And I really love that. I love that. This is our thunderstorm. This is our rainy day. Look at all that sun. I really, honestly, I don't know how. If those people who are giving us the weather report can't even bother to walk outside to see that their computer models are wrong for today, I don't know how they can predict the weather for 20 years from now. I really don't. But anyway, so these leaves turn brown, and I allow them to. Some people will trim the brown off the tops, and so they've got trimmed irises. I don't. Those brown leaves actually turn into this. It turns into the mulch for the summertime, and I actually leave a lot of the leaves here on the ground. I leave a lot of the leaves on the ground. As you can see, there's still some there for nutrition and some coverage. I don't clean the entire thing up because, these leaves, as they dry out and then they fall to the ground, it also provides food. Mulch also provides food for the plants. So we always have to remember about mulch is that it's a fantastic tool that we have. Amazingly fantastic. Creates soil, as you can see over here. Things can grow in it. It's highly nutritious for the little creatures that live in the soil, the microorganisms. It's nutritious for the plants. And at the same time, we have to remember that mulch, in an area where you don't want weed suppression or plant suppression, you have to remember to keep the mulch to a minimum. Otherwise, your plants will not get enough water. They will not get enough air. They can't breathe. And, the plants will eventually die. Anyway, until next time. You guys like that for bedding? Huh? Yeah? That'll help keep you warm and get cool at night?